A partial listing of his compositions includes such classics as Spoonful, You Shook Me, I Just Want to Make Love to You, and The Little Red Rooster. Dixon's been called the master storyteller, and his songs have been recorded by the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Elvis, Chuck Berry, Cream, Fleetwood Mac, and almost every other major rock group. People like Mick Jagger and Eric Clapton have both worked with Dixon and consider him a friend.
I wasn't working with him, but I used to appear on the show when the two of them was traveling together a couple of years ago. And then I met Clapton years ago when he was in Europe. He was just a youngster then, you know. In fact, I met most of the European group fellas, but I wasn't actually able to tell who was who because Memphis Slim and I was working in Piccadilly Square in England, and a bunch of kids used to come to the back because they wouldn't let them in the front, and we just let them in the back to see us. And come to find out, some of these fellas was the artists that are out there today, and they learned a lot of my songs and things like this.
Like the Rolling Stones, they first came over to the States in the early 60s and recorded your stuff?
Yeah, well, I hadn't saw them in Europe, but that was before they had a group. Yeah, and when you meet them and they go to tell you, and by having these pictures with me at that particular and when they come to Chicago, they come to my house or places like this, then they say, this is me here, and this is me, and well, it was all little kids, no hair on his face, and very little on his head. I'm going to remember who they are, you know. You know, she shook me. She shook me all night long. Yeah, she shook me. She shook me all night long. Shaking me. Now she done messed up my happy home.
Back in the 30s, you used to sell songs for about 15 or 20 bucks to country and western blues bands that were passing through town. Did you ever regret that maybe you might have sold some of your greatest songs? You know, just
well, I don't know. Some of these songs turned out to be pretty good. I remember a song I made called "The West Ain't Wild No More." It turned to be a very good country and western song. And I made one about the laundry man and Duck the Jitterbug, and that.
But you never made any money really off those songs, no matter how.
No, well, at
much
that time, mostly I was a kid, real young, and when I got 15 bucks, that was big money.
Yeah, well, in those days it wasn't too bad, I guess.
Yeah, then, in fact, my old man, my father was working. He wasn't making but about $7 a week working at the sawmill, you know. And I got me and different groups. And then sometimes they'd come up with them on records and things. And
did you ever feel ripped off?
No.
Like maybe someone else was making money off it?
I never actually felt ripped off about it because in the first place, to write a song to me have always been the easiest thing in the world, to write a song about anything. And I mean, so it was no rip off for me. If I sold them, I could have sold them at $10 a piece and sold 1,000.
Well, these days, I don't think you do that, though.
Oh, well, naturally, you learn better as you go along, you know.
Are you happy with the kind of life that you've led?
Oh, sure. I really feel happy about the whole thing because I really haven't had a chance to think about it enough to get sad, I guess. But when a person gets busy, you take a person that's generally doing something, you don't have time enough to think about the fellow that's not doing anything. He's too busy trying to do his own thing, you know.
Can you pick one song that you think was the greatest song you ever wrote? Or did you love them all?
Well, it's always the last one. The one that I write now always seems like the better one because, frankly, I don't feel like the best of my songs ever been written.
Like all good blues, Willie Dixon's contemporary material is as strong as his classic songs.
You have made great plains to span the sky. You even gave sight to the blind with other men's eyes. You even made submarines stay submerged for weeks. But it don't make sense. You can't make peace.
Still to come on the new music, Split Ends, Arlo Guthrie, and Pete Seeger.